Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to a new episode of Words of Wellness. I'm your host, Yassir Al-Manawi, and today we're going to be discussing an issue that a lot of us don't see it as important, but I think it is very important to all of us. We don't see it as important because we don't have the time to do it. Or somebody would say, oh yeah, I don't have the time to do this, or that's not important in my life. I have a lot of other things to worry about. So this issue is tranquility or meditation. And we talk about a lot about meditation in psychology. We talk about a lot about stress management in psychology. And in religion, we have the same thing. And let's see, we're going to read the surah, the ayah from the Quran, and then we're going to discuss the issue together, inshallah. It is Surah Al-Ra'd, ayah number 28. Those who have believed and those hearts are assured by the remembrance of Allah. Unquestionably, by the remembrance of Allah, hearts are assured. That is very nice. Because by remembrance of Allah, hearts are assured. What does that mean? We always talk in psychology about being comfortable with yourself, having faith in yourself, believing in yourself. Where does a belief in yourself come from? It comes from, as we said in different halakas or in different episodes, that it comes from a belief in a creator, from a belief in God. So let's see. If we really don't have, or if we do have lack of faith, what's going to happen? Lack of faith, it's going to create fear, it's going to create chaos, it's going to increase the stress, and it's going to increase the anxiety. Let's talk about this first, and then we're going to talk about the treatment of all of the symptoms we just mentioned right now. Fear. We talked a lot about fear in different episodes and about fear. So if your life is controlled by fear, you're losing. You're losing in all counts. You're losing in all grounds. You need to get rid of your fear. We're going to talk about how just in a minute. Let's say about stress. What is stress? It's the disease of the today's society. Everybody is complaining about stress. I'm stressed out at home, stressed out at work, stressed out everywhere. And that's what happened from lack of faith. And as a result of the stress, you have the anxiety. Anxiety increases, tension increases, stress kicks in, and then you have a lot of issues, physical issues, because it causes a lot of problems in all of your organs in your body. We're talking about high blood pressure, we're talking about heart attacks, we're talking about ulcers, we're talking about chronic headaches, we're talking about anxiety, chronic anxiety. So you see, it engulfs your whole life. So how can we reduce the stress? We can talk about a lot of things to stress reduction. We usually say, well, change your way of life. Change the regime of your life. How do I change the regime of my life? If I am going 100 miles a minute, I need to slow down a little bit. That's the first thing. Change your diet, your food. You need to change what you eat, because there is healthy food and there is unhealthy food. The healthy food usually reduces the stress. That's what you need to do. You need to make sure that you drink a lot of liquids. Not only water, but liquids in general. You need to do that. You need to change from eating a lot of meat and stuff like this into salads and green stuff. That's all pertains to what? Stress management. But the most important thing is what we always talk about. Take time for yourself. Meditation. What is taking time for yourself and meditation? All the time we'll talk about it. Meditation and taking time for yourself is the exact same thing we talked about in the ayah, in the surah right here. That's what we need to do. Remembrance of Allah and knowing that Allah is with you at all times is actually going to create a sense of harmony. It is going to create a sense of peace, a sense of security, I should say. It's just the way it is. And people do it in their own ways, but we have a specific way that we can do it. A lot of times we talk to people who are highly stressed and hung out and they don't know what to do. We tell them, well, try to do imagination, try to do breathing techniques. It just happened that all of this stuff actually happens all together. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, the meditation was usually done in his prayer and in his remembrancing of God, subhanallah ta'ala. And that's what we need to do at all times. Do not forget that you have the right to take time for yourself every day. You have the right to think and reflect upon yourself every day. You have the right to think about your needs and recalculate where you are, where you stand in life, and where you want to be. You have the right to do all of this stuff. And by knowing all of your rights and all of these rights, you will gain some comfort, self-comfort. Now, let's talk a little bit about how do you increase your faith in yourself and faith in God or your Creator or your higher power. Usually, what you need to do is that you need to look around you. You need to look at everything around you in this life. By that, you remember God. Look at the tree, look at a mountain, look at a leaf that's flying in the wind, look at the animals in the street. Always remind yourself that you're only a human being and you're not in that much control of your life or of anybody else's life. That will give you a sense of comfort and tranquility at the same time. The time that you need for yourself is very important on a daily basis. You have to have time for yourself. A lot of people would say, oh no, I don't have that. You have to put it in your schedule, just like everything else. This is my time for myself. You can do it in the morning, you can do it in the evening, you can do it at night, you can do it at any given time. But you have to have that time to reflect upon yourself. Let's see now. What we talked about is meditation and relaxation and faith in God and faith in yourself. Faith in yourself, as we said before, it comes from your faith in God. Because if you take a look at the values like we talked before, the values are all coming from spiritual values. And you can examine that yourself. You can examine it with your children. You can examine it at home or with your co-workers. That's what you're going to find out. So let's see, if you live or lead a healthy life, where are you going to be? That's the whole point. If you lead a healthy life, if you, between 1 and 10, and you are at 5 or 6, if your lifestyle is healthier, you're going to be at 8 or 9. And who knows, maybe you'll be at 10. And that's the whole goal. That's the attainable goal for everybody. So give your spiritual life what it's due, and it will give you back what you need in this life. That's what you need to do. With these words, I'll leave you for today, and inshallah we'll meet again in a different episode and a new episode of Words of Wellness. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.